I'm really excited for the fall season, spending more time in our cabin, getting cozy with the fireplace on, and having time to rest and reset. But the past month has been far from that idealization of what the perfect fall will look like for me. We suddenly went from a really intense heat to a really intense stormy kind of weather that flooded the new garden, broke many things, and it made it difficult to even turn the fireplace on. Water has been pouring inside the cabin from the chimney cap this past month, and the work in the building site has been far from easy with all this weather. But life goes on, and at some point you have two choices: to drown in all the challenges or to keep yourself afloat until the storm passes. And since I'm a good swimmer and love to surf, each new week I choose to surf the waves and start anew.
Golden things, gold hair, gold rings, gold rings, gold anything.
When the colder days arrived, I love to sleep in cozy bed sheets that don't absorb humidity from the environment. So my choice is always to use cotton flannel sheets. I only have one pair for the winter season, and because Lolita knows how to climb the ladder and sleeps in the loft with us, I use the light colored sheets for sleeping but leave a darker one for the top, so when she comes at night with her dirty paws, the bed doesn't look like a mess since day one. Part of my Sunday morning routines is to exercise. Over the years, exercising has helped me a lot mentally, especially when things get tough and you feel like the only thing you can do is to surrender to what has to come. A good Pilates or a strength workout also helps me to avoid injuries when working in the garden or when lifting heavy weights at the building site. So while Pepe do his morning run, I keep the tiny house for myself and do some exercise inside, which is much cozier because mornings are now cold and wet. I'm really excited for today's sponsor, BetterHelp. I believe we all deserve to live our best lives, but sometimes there is a lot that goes on and you can find yourself stuck or going through a rough period like I did this past month. And one way to navigate these tough periods is through therapy. I will always be an advocate for therapy because I know the positive impact that talking with a therapist can have in your life. I have seen friends thriving after going to therapy, and I myself now have the tools to navigate those times when things get more difficult. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible, because finding a therapist can be really difficult, especially when you are limited to the options in your area or you have to commute long distances to visit one. If you feel like you might be dealing with anxiety, overwhelm, depression, or you are just feeling stressed and would like to talk to someone that's not your family or a friend, BetterHelp can be a real support. They make finding a therapist really easy because it is online. You will start by filling out a questionnaire just to assess what your specific needs are. And once that you fill out that questionnaire, in as little as in a few days, you will be matched with a therapist, which is amazing because from the comforts of your own home, you can already schedule a video or a phone session, or you can exchange an unlimited number of messages with your therapist. It is really easy to sign up and get started. There is a link in my description box, betterhelp.com/Eugenia Diaz. By clicking that link, you will get 10% off your first month with BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. And because the most important part of therapy is making sure that you do click with your therapist, if after one session you feel like you just don't click with the therapist that you have been paired with, you can request a change of therapist at any time and as many times as you would like to, until you find one that you actually feel comfortable with. Having now as an adult the resources to better understand my needs and having the tools to navigate these difficult periods, it is something that has completely changed my life. It has given me a perspective of the things that really matter in life, and honestly, it is something that I wish I had access to early in life. So if you are struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in my description or go to betterhelp.com/Eugenia Diaz. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for supporting this channel. I don't even know where to start. I feel really ashamed to be showing how the workshop ended up being in this situation. I myself don't even know. The thing is that we have been super busy with the building site, and every time that we did groceries and didn't fit in the cabinet, we put it here. I harvested something, I put it here. Pepper received building material, we put it here. And at some point, we cannot even use the workshop anymore. Now that it's getting colder, it will be nice to have this space at least to exercise and to be able to work inside because the cabin is really small. A few weeks ago I ordered some boxes to organize the interior of the cabinets that we have here, because the cabinets are really big and it has a lot of depth. We can fit a lot of stuff, but it's not really efficient because you cannot use, for example, all the height of them, and then what you put at the back is impossible to reach. With these boxes that I ordered, I think it's going to become easier to have everything more organized. Here we have mainly the non-perishable food, the food that it can last for months, like rice, grains, flours, etc. We buy that in bulk and we keep it here because we don't have space in the cabin. I also ordered a couple of boxes to actually store food harvest because I don't have space to do so. Right now the entire shelving is full of squashes, and I have the potatoes, for example, in the seedling trays, which is not the ideal because it will be better if they can breathe easier. I also have the onions and garlic in cardboard boxes, but the box is way bigger than the actual produce that is inside. And then my gardening table is a complete mess. I use it often, I have to say that. But that being said, it still is not efficient. It's small, but I think that if I'm able to organize it, it will be much better. I'm a really organized person, and being in this messy environment makes me really anxious actually. So I want to control that because it is actually in my hands. And today, instead of doing something else that I would like to do, I will spend the day here. Hopefully I'm able to finish organizing most of it.